Hello and welcome back to National Busways of West Scotland, here at the Hamilton Garage to the southeast of Glasgow, where we have a bunch of Dennis Super Pointer darts and our fleet of beautiful ALX400s. Some of them are the short 9.9 meter ones and some of them are the standard length 10.5. And because we're down here in Hamilton because we have some work to do. We've not really looked at the Hamilton local system in a little bit, and I have expanded the map. We now have all of Strathaven, which means I can finally put the terminus point for our 211 and 311 services at Common Green, which is where I wanted them to be from day one. If we go over, extending the map also means we have Fenwick, the rest of Stewarton, Kilmars, and just up here is the very top end of Kilmarnock. Checking that I've got that right. Is that Kilmarnock? That is Kilmarnock. And then if we continue over, we have the top end of Irvine, and we have Kilwinning, Stevenston, Saltcoats, and Ardrossan. We haven't extended east or west at all, so there's nothing new there. And to be fair, the countryside's all pretty empty. But we have south, which means we have all of Strathaven, which is important for this episode, because, well, we need to reconfigure the 211 and 311 to actually terminate where they're meant to terminate. And we're also going to install another route to Strathaven. We might be over-serving Strathaven, but this route is, as well as being a Hamilton-Strathaven service, it's also a relief from a future Quicksilver route. Or it's also a relief for a future Quicksilver route to allow it to run faster at this end. That route is going to be the 771 from Hamilton to Ardrossan or Saltcoats. I've not yet decided. So it's going to be huge. But we're not doing the 771 yet. We don't have a lot of its routing on the map, because we don't have Kilmarnock Town Centre. And the route will end up further south than that, because it's going to follow the A71, hence the number. So that's going to wait, but we're going to put in the 305 from Hamilton to Strathaven via Larkhall and Stonehouse, which Hamilton to Strathaven. There we go. So let's head up to that's Larkhall. Let's head over to Hamilton, put it there, and let's come out of Hamilton like this, and post me if you don't mind. The 305 is now done, running from Hamilton through Larkhall and Stonehouse into Strathaven. This route will run every half hour, and will result in the 311 being cut back to hourly and having its Sunday service axed as well. The 311 is taking a step back now that the 305 is in play. Or at least the 311 will take a step back now the 305 is in play. Nothing will change with the 211, because that is the only way into East Kilbride. So that one will remain half hourly. But the 311 will be cut back. In terms of intensity, not route. And the timetable for the 305 is now done. Running every 30 minutes during the day with a very short turn back at Strathaven and a slightly more luxurious one in Hamilton. The vehicle requirement for this route is, there should be 4. Let's have a look. 7:02, the first one gets back into Hamilton. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's 4. So we'll buy 6. For this route, the 305. That will go from Hamilton later. Because we're not done. We are also going to get our local colour in order to implement the 313, a new route that will cover the Hamilton section of the 311 when the 311 gets its frequency reduction. And it will run to there. This little copse of houses right here every half hour via the route that the 311 takes. And that will just boost frequencies within Hamilton and make sure that everything is all good. Hamilton to, and I believe this is called Hamilton Heights, this little development. Yes, it is. Hamilton to Hamilton Heights, the 313. And that's going to run from that stop there. And just as the 311 does, it's going to run around the top. So post me, if you don't mind. The 313 is now in. It doesn't go to Hamilton Heights, it goes to Edelwood Ambleside, because there's some kind of broken road around here that means if you want to get here you have to go through Quarter like that, which is why the 311 does this rather than this. That's unfortunate. But there's the 313, from Hamilton to Hamilton Heights. And the 313 is now done. Running Mondays to Saturday every 30 minutes until the evening, when it runs every hour. And then on Sundays running every 30 minutes until an earlier evening, when it again switches to hourly and finishes early. And this is going to use the DX type. Because of course it will. It's a Hamilton route. Of course it can use the DX type, because we don't have a 10.7 meter Dennis Dart. I wish we did, but we don't. And that's a shame. But we're not done. There's more where that came from. Next is going to be the 307 to Hamilton Technology Park, which is further out. Where is the technology park? There it is. It's north of West Craigs, which is sort of hidden here. Ooh. So that would be the 307. If I can stop destroying my room while I'm at it, that would be nice. Oh, it would also be nice if... Oh, never mind, it has loaded. I will shut up. So this is the 307, Hamilton to West Craigs. There you go. So post me, if you don't mind. And the 307 is now in. Yeah, it's one of the routes of all time. It was going to be a lot more direct, but I think that's probably better. This is also going to run with DXs because, again, we don't have the 10.7 meter dart. We don't have the dart that would be the DL type, which is actually what we'd be using on this route. The sort of regular SLF we do have in the game is an 11.3 meter model with 10.7 meter capacity, and I would just like a proper 10.7 meter. There is a 10.7 meter dart with ALX400 bodywork, but we're not using the ALX400 this way. We're using the pointer. And the timetable for the 307 is done, running every 30 minutes. Until the evenings during Saturday, or during Monday, Saturday, and on Sunday, with different cut-offs for what is classed as evening service. And then the evening service itself is being run every 60 minutes, which in both the case, well, in the case of both the 311, not 311, in the case of the 313 and the 307, that means a vehicle requirement of just one over the evening period. So that's the 307. Now, how long have I been recording? Almost an hour. And I'm going to go look up here at Uddingston, because from Uddingston I'm going to put in a new Hamilton trunk service, which is going to be the 302. From Uddingston to Larkhall, but a different part of Larkhall than the 301 goes to. So let's get that. The 302, Uddingston to Larkhall. And it's going to be starting from this part of Uddingston so that it can serve the station on its way down. And then rather than joining the main drag, it's going to come down this way. So this is the 302, the 100th route of the series, from Uddingston to Larkhall. And we're going to start it up at hang on, I'm going to find out if this neighbourhood has a name. Yes, it does. Uddingston Kyle Park. So I'm going to start it here. There you go. Nope. So, it's going to say Uddingston. Size equals 75. Whoa, no. 5 small caps, Kyle Park. There you go. Uddingston, Kyle Park. And then our first stop out will be at Uddingston Station. Uddingston Station. There you go. Perfect. Post me, if you don't mind. And the 302 is now in place between Uddingston and Larkhall. This route will also run, just like every other route so far today, every 30 minutes. And the timetable for the 302 is finally done. It runs every half hour during the day, with a later evening cutoff, and after the evening's switchover, it runs every every hour. And then the last buses of the day run short. There's like one additional bus in the day that just runs short and terminates at Hamilton, which is why it pops into the bus station. During the day they bypass the bus station on Lechley Road or Brandon Street depending on the direction, and then the last buses will pull into the bus station to terminate. And that will use the VSAs, which are the short version of the B7TL ALX. So, those are all the new routes for today, but we do have to rework the 311 and the 211. And I'm going to start on the 211 because that one will be easy to get out of the way with because we don't really need to do any major timetable work. I just hope that extending it a little bit doesn't throw it all off whack. So let's edit route. And let's zoom down in. So at the moment it comes down Waterside Street, stops opposite the church, and then comes around via Common Green. What it's going to do from now is going to come down Green Street, stop, terminate there, and then start up over here. So Strathaven, Woodside Street opposite church, not anymore. Waypoint, not anymore. Commercial Road, Strathaven, Green Street. then put the terminus stop down there. So we're turning Common Green into a bit of a bus station. Strathaven. And then start up again over there, on the north side. Strathaven, Common Green. NB for northbound, because buses, you know, broadly face north. And there we go. That is how this route turns back. And it's also going to be how the 211 turns back. It's going to do the exact same thing. So I'm just now going to go into the timetable and work some magic. The 211 is now updated to terminate at Strathaven Common Green. Now I need to go over to make the same adjustments to the 311, which, I mean, the 311 isn't sort of running on a knife edge as it used to. That's the 310. We don't want the 310. We do not need the 310, we want the 311. And this one I am doing some timetable messing. This is going to go down to every hour during the day. Or every hour, just hourly. And then we will be eliminating the Sunday service. And I haven't made the adjustments that I need to make to the route. So let's just confirm that. And then make the adjustments I need to make to the route. I kind of jumped the gun. $3.11, Hamilton to Strathaven. It's a decent earner. It's going to stop being such a good earner when I butcher it in the way that I'm about to butcher it. Because reducing the frequency of your bus route is a surefire way to make it less profitable. Well, if it's already successful, if it's barely picking anyone up, then maybe it's a strat. But, yeah, so Strathaven, Waterside Street, opposite church. There we go. Waterside Street, opposite church. The waypoint. So there's where it stops last, and we're going to put there. Strathaven Green Street. Strathaven. And Strathaven Common Green. There we go. And now it's time to do timetable wizardry, although we have already reduced its frequency. So, that's that for the 211 and 311, which now terminate at Strathaven in the way that I always wanted them to. And we now have the 305, which should turn a decent profit. But I do want to check that the 305 is going to is going to want VSAs, because it should. That's what I want it to use. But have I set it up to use VSAs? Edit timetable. It does want VSAs, that's good. And so the vehicle requirement of that one I think is 4. Yeah, it's 4, so we need 6 buses for that. And the vehicle requirement of the 302 I haven't worked out yet. For the 307 and 313 it's both 2. So I will buy 6 DSs for that. Or DSs? DXs. Edit timetable. We want how many VSAs? Preview. The 503 comes down to Larkhall to do the 615, gets back up at 716 to do the 733, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, So I will buy... You know what? No, I'll buy 14 VSAs and 6 DSs. How are we doing loan-wise? I'll prioritise the VSAs, because those routes are going to be more profitable more quickly than the 307 and 313. Loan-wise, we are spoken for. Nice. Also bear in mind that we only have 18 spaces free at this garage. Yes. So actually, I'm going to buy... I am going to buy 12 VSAs. And, yeah, 12 VSAs and however many, that leaves us 4 DXs. It's going to be very, very close run. But, hopefully I will have enough. No PIS on that. VSA type. So, yeah, I mean, the reason why I'm going for VSAs is because of the 305. The 305 is a sort of country route, and so it just makes sense to use the Volvo. You know, it's a bit of a bigger lump to work with engine-wise than the Trident. Let's find the VSA type. There we are. Very nice. My modified template to remove the rear door. Unfortunately, I can't change the destination blind in-game. I would like for that to be an LED like the full-size ones, but can't have everything. And finally, we have SG52HKS, better known as VSA 80. So these are all, including the new darts, batched as or licensed as SK52, starting from HKA with DX. Oh, come on. Well, why does the game not like me? Starting with SG52HKA, better known as DX185, with DX is 185 to 188, and then VSA is starting from 69 and going up to 80. These are very, very nice. Can't wait to see. Well, I can't wait to see these out on the road. I like roll blinds, but where we're using LEDs everywhere else, they don't really fit. So, let's activate our new crosstown services, the 302, or our new crosstown service 302, our new out and back service 305, and our new town services 307 and 313. Okay, and it appears we are just slightly short of DXs, which is fine, because we have those 2 spaces left. Though we have these 2 that are just doing 1 shift in the afternoon, but they're like annoyingly timed. In fact, we'll only be short 1 DX if I make this little adjustment that I know I can make. Ooh, look at that! Now I'm only short 1 DX. But I think that's fine to launch now. We have, you know, much better coverage of Hamilton than we used to, and it's just going to get better and better and better, because I have more planned. I have a 303 planned, which is going to run from the very top end of Blantyre, down sort of this way, into Hamilton, out to Motherwell, and then out to Carzen, out to like Carvin, Hollytown, New Stevenston, out this way somewhere. I could even be persuaded to take it up to Airdrie. as like a sort of really big, you know, mainline service, if you will. But those routes are now activated and they are now assigned. And it's, you know, only an hour and a bit in game until it's go time for them. So that's all good. In East Kilbride, the N21 is still not fixed. How long has it been since we put the N21 in? Because it's been broken since then. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to think about in East Kilbride. The N190 is doing fine. There's one in Hamilton right now. The N2 is fine. It's just the N21 that's broken. The rest of the night network is doing fine, I believe. The N1 never really worked how I wanted it to work, but at the same time I'm not mad at it. Basically what happens with the N1 is, if I can get the map over there, as it comes, so it comes down from, so it follows the one into Paisley, then it comes down this way through Johnston, then out, out through Elderslie, Johnston, then it goes around Milliken Park, and then when it gets to the other end of Milliken Park, that's where its terminus point is, and there it waits for 29 minutes. Which I'm not mad at, but I kind of wish I'd known so that I could put the holding point before the circuit. But at the same time, it's a night bus, and it's primarily going to be used by people going home, and maybe putting it after the circuit gives people a smoother run home to Milliken Park. So I don't know. The middle ground would of course be to put it somewhere on the circuit, because that's a short circuit, it's only 4 stops. But I don't know about that. What I do know is that it's getting close to go time over in Hamilton for the 302, 305, 307 and 313. Right, 5:45 departure for the 307 from Hamilton Technology Park to Hamilton Bus Station. Can I put it on 2 times? Or at least a wait. It seems to be doing okay. I mean, the game isn't, but, you know. This is the National Busways West Scotland save on the Cam J Kerman channel. Like, are you expecting good frame rates? But we're pulling decent numbers as we head into Hamilton just before the peak time starts. And I believe, yeah, we turn left here, and we head sort of out of Hamilton, briefly, to serve this area. And it's fairly busy. It is fairly busy. Reaching Peacock Cross now in Hamilton, like Hamilton Town Centre-ish. I still don't quite know where Hamilton Town Centre is. I don't know if it is where the bus station is, or if it is further up towards Peacock Cross and Armada Street. But now the game has truly had a moment. Which, to be fair, I don't entirely blame it. This is a very difficult part of everything to load. There is a lot going on at Hamilton Bus Station now. I almost wonder if it's pegged my eDrive again, because it's been doing that from time to time, and I have no idea why, because it's not on my eDrive. But from time to time the game will just slam my eDrive for no reason. And And clearly it wants something from my eDrive, but it's just hammering my eDrive. And the thing with my eDrive is that it's a spinning hard drive that's over 10 years old. It shouldn't be working anymore. I don't know how it still is. So I am sat here with a 10-year-old drive that's being absolutely hammered by this game for no reason whatsoever. And I believe that's what's happened, because it's showing almost nothing on the CPU for CBM. And if I go to my hard drives, yep, my eDrive is at 100%. Oh no, it's not. It's at like, oh no. I mean, it's pulling both of my eDrive and my C drive, which is my SSD, which is where I keep CBM. So I'm confused. I don't recognize this behavior. It's not actually pegged my eDrive to 100%. Because it's not done the thing. It's actually trying to do something. Oh, it's trying to do an autosave. Why is that happening to my eDrive? That should be on C. Why is it involving my eDrive in this at all? Okay, now it's pegged it at 100%. I've got Task Manager open in front of the game window, which I hope hasn't changed any audio settings. No, it hasn't. But because the game is sort of stopped while it's doing this autosave, there is no lovely royalty-free background music that CBM is, probably known for. This is fun. This is the average West Scotland experience for me. Is like, I make no progress off camera. You see the day counter is still, like, down in the bottom left. It's still at day 248. It's like basically not moved, because every time I try to play this game, it grinds to a screeching halt at some point. And we've reached that point. In fact, I think we have reached critical because my CPU utilization has flatlined at 38%, which normally when CBM's running, it's not this flat at a given level. So I don't know what's happening. No. It is autosaving. It's genuinely autosaving. Okay. Well, that is, that's the 307. If I just click inside this cluster mess of everything, there should be a 313. Indeed there is, and it's heading out towards Edelwood, Ambleside, with 25 on board. So let's follow it out. It's already a minute late. Love that. But there is a timing point at the church for reasons of Hamilton Town Centre is probably rammed. And the 313 is holding its own. Okay, you know how I said I didn't want consecutive numbered routes going down the same road? And then sent the 311 and 312. No, wait, that's the 307, isn't it? Oh no, because the 312. Okay, so yeah, now we have the 311, 312, and 313 going down that road, when I have said in a Hamilton episode that I didn't like consecutive numbers going down the same road. Similar numbers, but not consecutive ones. You know, like, when I say similar numbers, I mean like numbers with identifiable patterns between them. And the example I always bring up is East London, where there is a common theme of 8. So you have the 8, which runs out from Bow, or runs out of from central London to Bow, and at Bow you have the D8, which runs from Stratford to the Isle of Dogs, and the 108, which runs from Stratford International, through Bow, down through Poplar, and then across the river by the Blackwall Tunnel and into Lewisham. But if you then go up to Stratford, you've got the 308, which runs from Wanstead out to Clapton via Stratford and Hackney Wick. And then when you get to Clapton, you have the 38. And the 38 runs out from Victoria. At one point, I believe it was London's most frequent bus route, with buses every 3 minutes. And a vehicle requirement somewhere in the 60s or 70s, because it ran all the way out to Chingford at that frequency, which is just mind-blowing. And then somewhere along the 308, I think in Hackney Wick, there's the 388, which runs from London Bridge out to Stratford. So, that's what I mean by similar numbers. Numbers where you can sort of identify a pattern between them that sort of gives you a clue as to the, or can give a clue as to sort of where you are. And I'm also going to extend that by saying night bus N8. It is the overnight extension of the 8, and that was perfectly timed onto the 302. But yeah, that's my rant about similar bus route numbers. This, it's very nerdy, but you might find these patterns in other places too. If you know of other places with such a good pattern as East London's got, let me know, because my TISM goes crazy for that sort of thing. My TISM goes crazy in a good way, I should say, because, TISM going crazy is not always good. Sometimes it gets you in trouble. Sometimes it causes you distress. But we're on the 302, doing quite well, down into through Bothwell. Double-decker's a good idea for this because they have a large number of seats. And, short double-decker, very good, because they're a bit smaller, a little bit lighter, use a little bit less fuel. So they're a nice halfway house between a big single-decker and a normal-sized double-decker. I just wish that short double-deckers were more common. Because London has recently gotten rid of our last 9.9 metre double-deckers. The DOEs that ran on the 151 are now all gone, as of either today, yesterday, or a couple days ago, replaced by 10.5 metre Wright street deck electroliners, which, to be fair, are lovely buses. But they are 10.5 metres long, and when I went on my last DOE, the driver said that even the DELs, which are what the electroliners are called under Go Ahead, even they scrape on the turn into Worcester Park Station, which, if anyone is familiar with the bus news around London, should be familiar with the fact that the reason why the 151 kept operating with the DOEs when other routes from its garage got rid of their DOEs in favour of the EEs, is that they kept the DOEs because the EEs at 11 metres long couldn't get round the turn into Worcester Park Station. And while the DELs can make it, they apparently still scrape their underframes on one of the pavements as they make the turn, which is not entirely pleasant, I'm sure. and probably means the drivers have to slow down a lot to make sure that they place the bus exactly right. Which, I don't know, I wouldn't want to drive a DEL on that route. I would insist on something shorter, but there isn't anything shorter these days. I mean, even ADL's new offering is 10.5 for London, full on 11 metres for outside in the new Enviro 400 EV, which, to be fair, absolutely gorgeous looking bus. I'm so glad that the first ones are in service now in London on the SL6. I would get on one if it wasn't for the fact that the SL6 is an awkward route that runs in one direction only at a time, only at peak times, and is, runs non-stop between Waterloo and West Norwood, and I believe it's set down only from West Norwood to West Croydon. Or it's pick up only to Waterloo, and I don't know, I think it's pick up only. I mean, when it's in the evening peak, when it's running outside London, I think it's pick up only to Waterloo, non-stop to West Croydon, and then set down only, or non-stop to West Norwood, and then from West Norwood, set down only. And then in the morning peak, when it's heading into London, it's the inverse. So, pick up only to West Norwood, non-stop to Waterloo, and then set down only to wherever it terminates. I can't remember. Russell Square? Something like that. I think it's Russell Square. But we're heading back in towards Uddingston on 302 when I only meant to go to Larkhall. We're doing really well for busyness. But we'll leave that to get up to Uddingston, because there's a 305 due out now. And this is going to Strathaven. Oh, actually, I've just realised we probably aren't short a DX, because the 311 is still running half hourly. Because it takes a full day for timetable changes to come into effect, which also means the 211 and 311 aren't going to their new terminus yet. They're still terminating opposite the church. So the 305 is still the only route that's actually using Common Green to terminate. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, it's how the game works, I can't really do anything about it. The 414 and 415 over there are looking fairly busy though, which is good. Well, the 414 is not that busy, but the 415 is. The 123 is rammed. Nice. The 17's doing fairly well. A lot of people on board, but they've all got seats because it's a triaxle decker. And now the 414's busy. And I'm just going to do a mic check just to make sure that it's not died, because it died through Monday's South Coast episode. My first microphone mishap. But no, this today it is working just fine as we go through Stonehouse. And there's plenty of people on board at Stonehouse Cross. And as we get through Stonehouse, people are getting off. And people are getting on again. Nope, off. And then it's just across little countryside dash, few small stops, to Strathaven. And we're now in Strathaven. And into Common Green, where we wait for our next run. And indeed, that's going down there. So with that, we've had a very productive day down on the southeastern side of the map for once. So, from Hamilton, and National Busways West Scotland, I will see you next week. Bye bye.